Lie by Melvin Cohen of Milwaukee. Aristotle Onassis is planning to get Jackie a small plant for Christmas. General Motors. That's it. I hope they have another contest next year and that the results there are better than that one.
That's funny stuff in Milwaukee.
Yeah, not out here though. Our coverage continues now with Howard K. Smith and Harry Reasoner from New York. And join us at 6 tonight for more Eyewitness News.
Good evening. I'm Howard K. Smith in New York. Harry Reasoner's on vacation. These are tonight's headlines. Election results in Israel give Prime Minister Meir's labor bloc a slim working control of the government. New Year's Day traffic is light across the nation because of the fuel shortage, and the auto death toll drops sharply. 38 people die in the crash of a domestic Italian airliner near Turin, and violence attributed to extremists on both sides continues into the new year in Northern Ireland. Reports tonight from Hillary Brown on the significance of the Israeli elections, Greg Dobbs on a potential source of cheap power, the laser beam, Don Farmer on the less than sealed border between Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic, Steve Bell on mainland China's new hard sell of its goods in Hong Kong, Gregory Jackson with a look at the Lindsay years in New York City, and tonight's comment, a look at some of the good things that happened in 1973. Israeli officials have now tallied about one-half the votes from yesterday's crucial national elections, elections that are expected to have a major impact on the Middle East negotiations at present underway in Geneva. We have a report on the turns up to now from ABC's Hillary Brown in Israel.
For Prime Minister Golda Meir, it was the greatest test of her political career. She rang in the new year without fanfare at the Labor Alignment's headquarters in Tel Aviv last night as the first election returns began to come in. So far, they show that she'll lose enough seats to have a real problem on her hands. The Yom Kippur War and her government's failure to anticipate has shaken the Israeli sense of security and provoked a desire for change among many of the electorate. For the first time, a credible alternative to the unbroken rule of the Labor Alignment has emerged, with the substantial gains of the right-wing opposition bloc, Likud, led by Menachem Begin. He thinks Mrs. Meir will be forced into a coalition with the hard-line right.
This means that now in the 8th Knesset, there is a clear-cut majority against any plan to repartition the land of Israel. We and the religious groups together have such a majority. This should be told all over the world.
Three important points still remain completely open to question. Can Mrs. Meir still run the country? What kind of coalition government will she form? And what then will Israel's attitude be toward the final peace settlement? Israel's future course seems as unpredictable now as it was before the elections. Hillary Brown, ABC News, in Jerusalem.
Although official election results are not expected for several days, the latest tallies indicate that Mrs. Meir's Labor Party has lost about 5 of its 56 seats in Parliament. The main opposition, the right-wing Likud Party, was expected to pick up 6 seats for a total of 38. Among those running for election to the Israeli parliament was Rabbi Meir Kahane, the American-born leader of the militant Jewish Defense League who moved to Israel in 1972. According to Israeli computer projections, Kahane's election bid has failed.
As you can see, one of these pain relievers is bigger than the other. But the important thing is, one of these pain relievers performed better than the other. This pain reliever, Excedrin, was significantly more effective in not 1, but 2 medical research studies on pain other than headache. Significantly more effective than common aspirin for the relief of pain. When you're in pain, get Excedrin, the extra-strength pain reliever.
Richard Chamberlain.
Fitzgerald is my name. F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Blythe Danner as Zelda. Their lives, his fiction, inseparably entwined.
Seems like no matter who you start out writing about, it always turns out to be about us.
David Huffman and Susan Sarandon as the characters he created to recapture a more innocent time. Lost youth, lost love, untarnished dreams. F. Scott Fitzgerald and The Last of the Bells.
Monday at 9
8 Central on ABC.
The gasoline shortage produced one important benefit this New Year's holiday. The nation's highway death toll is running about 25% below earlier prediction and is substantially lower than last year when the New Year holiday was 3 rather than 4 days. A good number of gasoline stations were open in some states today, notably in North Carolina, in Maine, and in Texas, but many of those stations reported little business, with most Americans staying off the road. Despite the Arab oil embargo, some Arab oil has been getting to the United States. There have been reports that the Bahamas have been a transit point for those shipments. ABC's Bill Zimmerman went to the Bahamas to check those reports out.
The Bahamas Oil Refining Company, Borco, a subsidiary of New England Petroleum and Standard of California, is growing all the time. Borco is building new storage tanks and new jetties and is steadily increasing production. A continuing stream of tankers flows through here, discharging oil to be refined and picking it up to provide heat and power to the east coast of the United States. And since the embargo, it has been reported that supposedly embargoed oil, specifically from Libya, still is passing through this operation. Refinery officials are reluctant to talk for competitive reasons, but say they are not receiving embargoed oil. But they refuse to produce their shipping records, and they are vague when asked how it is that they are increasing production during a time of shortage and embargo. They say that is proprietary information. When this tanker, the NEPCO Gallant, discharged 700,000 barrels of oil here recently, one company official said it had come from Nigeria, not an embargoing country. Later, he said it had come from Iran, and still later, Nigeria. As the NEPCO Gallant prepared to steam away for another load of crude oil, the captain was asked where he was headed. He replied, "Destination unknown." Bill Zimmerman, ABC News, Freeport.
The Federal Energy Office is investigating at least 2 complaints of possible price gouging by the Sun Oil Company in the sale of home heating oil. One complaint filed by a Boston firm says it paid Sun Oil more than 3 times the price that Sun is charging its own distributors. A Sun Oil spokesman said the higher prices are because it is providing its own distributors with domestic oil and is forced to buy expensive foreign oil to supply others. In the search for new sources of energy, a research firm in Ann Arbor, Michigan, is conducting experiments on the harnessing of thermonuclear power through laser beam technology. If the experiments are successful, a pilot plant could be constructed by 1979. Details from Greg Dobbs.
What you're seeing, the tiny light-colored speck in the center of the screen, contains the makings of an energy-producing nuclear reaction. The red illumination of the speck, provided for demonstration purposes, comes from a laser beam, a streak of light that's amplified as it speeds toward its target. In this control room, a far more powerful laser beam is experimentally set off to start the nuclear reaction.
Ready to fire. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What you just saw and heard was the actual moment of the reaction. In that moment, that billionth of a second, a tremendous amount of heat was produced. It can be turned into steam, taking the place of oil and coal to generate electricity. Or it can be turned into synthetic natural gas for anything from cooking to drying wet grains to heating homes. The fuel for the nuclear reaction is the laser beam, in other words, light. So there's little cost and, more importantly, no radioactivity. The laser beam hits a target, a pellet that's no bigger than a pinhole. This pellet is made of 2 hydrogen isotopes called deuterium and tritium. Both can be extracted from seawater, which means there's an inexhaustible supply. For each reaction, a pellet is placed in a chamber. The laser beam has to hit the pellet right on the money, and therefore technicians have to be precise when they magnify the pellet to line it up for the shot. Mirrors and lenses are adjusted to condense the laser beam down to a fine point of light. Because light is heat, the laser beam at target point is hotter than 20 million degrees, the temperature at the center of the sun. Everything in place for that billionth of a second, the laser beam is fired at the target. Right now, the energy from the reaction is lost in 5 feet of concrete that surrounds the chamber. But if these experiments are perfected, machinery like this can be rebuilt to contain heat and gases from the reaction. Then an unlimited substitute for the dwindling fuels we use today will have been found. And all for the price of 2 things that are reportedly not in short supply: seawater and light. Greg Dobbs, ABC News, at the KMS Fusion Laboratory in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Democratic Congressman Les Aspin of Wisconsin released a study today that says that big oil interests contributed nearly $5 million to President Nixon's re-election campaign. Aspin said the study shows that President Nixon cannot deal effectively with the energy crisis because, quote, the big oil companies have him in a hammerlock. After their massive contributions, the congressman said, there is little the president can do to control them.
New on Friday, the $6 million man. There's never been anything like him. Part man, part machine.
It's a one-chance, one-man operation.
This one man broke through a stone wall without the aid or use of explosives.
He's the top secret weapon that no one can stop.
How are you able to do that? Vitamins.
Lee Majors is the $6 million man.
Every Friday, beginning January 18th.
If you still time your wash to add fabric softener to your rinse, it's time to switch from your washing machine fabric softener to Cling-Free. It softens more conveniently. Just spray its new free flow formula in the dryer, where heat and tumbling release its softening ingredients to soften clothes without static cling. And each large can softens 65 dryer loads. Cling-Free. It puts in softness, takes out cling, conveniently.
A twin-engine passenger jet operated by an Italian airline crashed in a thick fog near Turin Airport today. Police say that 38 of the 42 people on board were killed. 3 passengers and the co-pilot were pulled alive from the burning plane. All of the victims were Italian. In the town of Glenairy, Northern Ireland, a bomb exploded outside a Catholic church hall where a New Year's Eve party was in progress. 11 people were injured. In Belfast, a passerby was killed by a sniper whose bullets were intended for an army patrol, and demolition experts exploded a 200-pound bomb in the center of the city when their efforts to defuse it failed. Meanwhile, a North-South Commission has been set up to work out ways to stem the violence in Northern Ireland. Among other things, officials hope they can cut down on IRA operations along the border. ABC's Don Farmer reports.
The border between Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic always has been among the most violent areas in the Irish dispute. Almost every customs house on the Ulster side has been bombed away. Plans for political power sharing with the Irish Republic have not stopped the cross-border flow of IRA men and their weapons into the north. For every open, authorized crossing point on this meandering, mostly unmarked border, there are dozens of illegal roads and paths which cross the frontier. They are the favorites of IRA gun runners and terrorists. IRA activity has not decreased since the new Council of Ireland was announced. They continue to use the back roads to get in and out of Ulster quickly. So far, there is no automatic extradition for persons captured in the Republic for crimes in the north. So the south is a haven, which the British Army is trying to neutralize with concrete and steel. The Army put up these formidable barriers because just tearing up the pavement did no good. Terrorists repaired them or went around. Army commanders hope the blockades will slow down the IRA, but so far there's been little change. The border cannot be sealed completely. Too many innocent people must cross between the Republic and the North. So the Army searches cars and drivers at variable surprise checkpoints.
And these are what, Christmas presents in here?
They're not looking for petty smugglers. They want the bombers and assassins who use the South as a sanctuary. This is Don Farmer, ABC News, on the Irish border.
William Whitelaw, now charged with solving Britain's economic problems, headed Queen Elizabeth's honors list today for his success in Northern Ireland and winning a share in power for the Roman Catholic minority. Whitelaw was named a Companion of Honor. Membership in that order is limited to 65 living persons. The Queen's list also included Labor leader Vic Feather, soccer star Bobby Charlton, American-born actress Constance Cummings, and Silvino Stefano Trompetto, the chef at London Savoy Hotel.
New on Tuesday, the Happy Day.
Remember the days when flat tops and penny loafers were the craze? And if your kid wasn't in his hot rod, he was hanging around the local malt shop? Well, in our family, we had to cope with all of that.
Doesn't Richard look nice this evening?
He has stinky stuff on his hair.
Is that what that smell is? I thought the milk was sour. Not to mention rock and roll music. But we all had lots of fun in the happy days.
Premieres 2 weeks from tonight.
There's a very simple answer to the fuel shortage. We can use the fuel we now have to run our homes and our cars the way we always have, lavishly. We'll just close our schools. On the other hand, if we start looking around for ways to save energy in our homes, like turning the thermostat down to 68 degrees, we may be able to save enough energy to run our schools. Either way, we're going to have to give up something. I suggest we don't be foolish.
New on Thursday, Chopper 1.
Chopper what?
10-4, Chopper 1.
The men who fly in Chopper 1 don't walk a beat.
Let's hit him.
They're special cops, and they do a job in a special way.
You're gonna make it. You got no faith.
Chopper 1.
Premieres Thursday, January 17th on ABC.
He's the warm you up. He's high! 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 Drive! 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 Drive!
You guys ought to be in better shape by now. Look at me. I got 20 years on every one of you.
Even if you're in great shape, hard work in cold weather can make your muscles ache. So rub in Bengay. Bengay's warmth sort of bakes the ache. Bengay, when you're hurt, it helps.
An article in the Peking People's Daily, the official Chinese newspaper, calls 1973 a year of great disorder in the world and a time in which some people made gigantic strides, especially people in the third world. The Chinese paper criticized the U.S. and the Soviet Union, saying U.S. imperialism is finding the going tougher and that Soviet revisionism is doing even worse. In spite of its year-end statement, 1973 was a year in which China broadened its relations with the outside world. Increased trade and a new approach to selling its goods are among the most visible signs of a change in Chinese policy. ABC's Steve Bell reports.
For years, the communist stores here in Hong Kong have been noted for their low prices and for their aloof, here it is if you want it, sales approach. But now all that's changing. And both the prices and the marketing techniques are taking on a distinctly capitalist flavor. Even the Hong Kong consumer has become a target for an apparent Peking turn toward Madison Avenue's way of doing things. On home television, professional quality commercials encourage viewers to drink China's own snowflake beer, to derive benefits from Chinese vitamin pills, or to save at the Bank of China, which offers tax-free interest rates as high as 6 3/4%. For local residents and tourists alike, there are increasing numbers of billboards advertising wares at the communist department stores. And it's in these stores that one gets the full impact of China's obvious quest for a place in world commerce. Now that the People's Republic has begun importing expensive Western technology, it desperately needs foreign currency to keep its balance of payments in order. And the solution chosen is clearly to promote maximum exports at whatever price the market will bear. These quality rugs, for instance, are an established bestseller, and their prices have been raised as much as 100% in the past 2 years. Another top tourist attraction, precious jade, up as much as 300%. And if you have a taste for the potent liquor Mau Tai, it's now available in quantity, but it will cost you more than $20 a bottle. In past years, the communist stores here dispensed propaganda almost equally with goods, and most still have window displays of progress in China. But the new era of friendship, and possibly the profit motive as well, have produced such trade items as panda bears, a reminder of Peking's gift of live pandas to President Nixon, or even a toy soldier described by the store manager as a G.I. Joe, a rather shocking and seemingly sure sign that ideology can sometimes bow to commerce, even in Chairman Mao's China. For Hong Kong marketing, most products still arrive from the mainland aboard traditional junks, including the fresh foodstuffs on which the colony is heavily dependent. And here, too, prices have increased sharply. Officially, Peking blames the increases on natural calamities that cut food production last year, but also on the rising cost of their own imports. As one Chinese official put it, we have no choice but to adjust our prices to the international market, which seems to say even a communist state cannot ignore world inflation, especially when its own development depends on expensive imports. Steve Bell, ABC News, Hong Kong.
When I got married, my mother said, stay home, have babies. But I went to work so that Steve can graduate and become a great architect. That's one difference between my world and my mother's. Another is that, while like most women, we both need more iron, I do something about it. I take a Fem-Iron tablet every day, so I'm sure I'm getting the iron I need.
Fem-Iron or Fem-Iron with vitamins for the young woman who likes to do things her own way.
Don't worry, Mom. You'll be a grandmother yet.
Son, I've been shaving 25 years, so here's a little advice. To get a good, clean electric shave, you need a really dry beard.
But, Dad!
And to get a really dry beard, you gotta wet it first with Williams' Electric Shave.
I already use it.
Electric Shave dries your beard so your whiskers stand up. Both of them. Only kidding, son. Electric Shave puts it all together.
Oh, wow.
So to get a really close shave with less irritation, get a really dry beard. Wet it first with Electric Shave. That's my boy.
In other news, in the Cotton Bowl game in Dallas today, the Nebraska Cornhuskers beat the Texas Longhorns 19-3. Texas had been favored to win. In the third period, when the score was tied 3-3, Nebraska broke through to score 2 touchdowns and a field goal. California Congressman Charles Teague died of a heart attack during the night while visiting relatives. The Republican congressman was serving his 10th term in the House. A spokesman said that Teague died in his sleep. In Hillsborough, California today, Bing Crosby's butler disclosed that Crosby entered the hospital yesterday suffering from pleurisy. Crosby was expected to leave the hospital tomorrow or Thursday to attend the Bing Crosby Pro Amateur Golf Championship matches in Pebble Beach, California. At New York City Hall today, 68-year-old Abraham Beam took the oath of office as the city's 104th mayor. At the ceremonies was his predecessor, John Lindsay. Yesterday, the New York Times editorially described Lindsay as a mayor of vision, but there were those New Yorkers whose farewell to him was, in effect, good riddance. ABC's Gregory Jackson has a report on the controversial Lindsay years.
John Lindsay arrived a dashing young Republican congressman from Manhattan's wealthy silk-stocking district. He looked like a movie star, and they called him the White Knight. More precisely, he became New York's media mayor. He was as new and as promising as a Kennedy. Also, he was not yet 45. Today, Lindsay is 52. The hair is graying at the temples, and the years have tarnished the armor. One reason John Lindsay did not run for mayor again is because the polls said he could not win, but it's not all his fault. On his first day in office, the mayor walked into what became a series of massive strikes. New York civil servants form a huge bureaucracy. Lindsay's battles to reorganize and modernize them met with massive resistance. Lindsay says he came to see that the country's big cities were in deeper trouble than anybody wanted to admit. In the wake of the ghetto riots that followed Martin Luther King's assassination, he took to the streets. Slowly, he pulled away from the Republican establishment that first sponsored him. The anxious white middle class later accused him of abandoning them. In 1971, Lindsay saw no room left for him in the Republican Party. He switched to the Democrats.
I joined the Democratic Party today because it offers the best hope for a change in national direction and national leadership in the 1972 election.
And then he went down to Miami a short time later to announce for president. He did poorly in Florida's primary, and in Wisconsin, the voters liked his looks, but didn't want to hear his speeches that said problems in the big cities like New York were also their problems. Lindsay came home a loser, and today he gives up his mayor's chair. But in the past week, he did not look back in anger. In fact, if one did not look carefully, it seemed as if he were still a candidate as he went back to the neighborhoods to say goodbye. New York is a sea of ethnic islands, each with its own currents. The Italian Americans at a senior citizens hall. The city's Orthodox Jews. In years past, Lindsay had some powerful differences with most of them. On the last day, however, there were no regrets.
8 years is a long time to be in this chair, but it's been a joyous 8 years for me at least. And although we've had ups and downs, and it's been a lot of struggles and battles from time to time, it's been a wonderful experience for me, and I think I'm leaving the government in my successor's hands in very tidy shape and good order, and with pipelines that are full.
If you had it all to do it again, would you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Best 8 years of my life.
At noon today, John Lindsay was there as they formally swore in his successor, Abe Bean, the city's former controller, whom Lindsay beat easily 8 years ago. Where Lindsay goes from here depends on the political winds. His closest advisors say he'll run again, but they don't know or they won't say what he'll run for. And all John Lindsay will say now is that he's going south to unwind in the sun and then come back to New York to practice law, at least for a while. Gregory Jackson, ABC News, New York.
I'll be back with tonight's comment in a moment.
I will not cough. I will not.
When you've got a cough from a cold and you can't suppress it yourself, you need a strong cough medicine. Vicks Formula 44. Formula 44 can help suppress the hacking cough you can't suppress. You can't buy a more powerful cough suppressant than the one in Formula 44, yet it's not narcotic. Formula 44 can help suppress the cough you can't suppress. And now for coughs that come with stuffed up noses, something new from Vicks.
My baby's got a nasty cough and a stuffed-up nose, poor baby. Here's Vicks new Formula 44D, a strong cough suppressant plus a decongestant. Helps calm your cough and unclog your nose so you can breathe easier. You're gonna be all right, baby.
The year 1973 got uniformly bad press notices as it died yesterday. Before it withers in memory, I beg to say a few kind words over it. For the first year in many, not a single airplane was skyjacked in the United States in 1973. Brandeis University's Center for the Study of Urban Violence shut down because there were no riots to study. The U.S. dollar, which was a basket case early in the year, is now at the end sturdy and wanted on world markets. And our payments deficit with the world turned into a surplus. The heroin epidemic passed its peak and is declining. There was a giant rock festival in the year at a place called Watkins Glen. Unlike Woodstock, its lineal ancestor, more milk was sold than beer or drugs. No American is in combat anywhere in the world. Northern Ireland has its first government with full Catholic representation. Arabs and Israelis are negotiating in the same room for the first time ever. Even Watergate has had great compensations. It led to far-reaching election reforms in 25 states, half the states of the Union, the biggest reform movement since La Follette at the turn of the century. If all this raises the question my kids used to put to me, if I'm so happy, why don't I feel better? The answer is, I don't know. I feel that way, too. That's tonight's news and a comment. I'm Howard K. Smith. Good night.
This has been the ABC Evening News with Howard K. Smith and Harry Reasoner, Monday through Friday in color. An ABC News special, At Ease, will be broadcast tonight at 11:30, 10:30 Central. Howard K. Smith and Harry Reasoner and ABC correspondents from around the world will swap behind-the-scenes stories. That's At Ease, an ABC News special, tonight at 11:30, 10:30 Central. This has been a presentation of ABC News.
The all-new Sunday ABC Wide World of Sports premieres Sunday afternoon with the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters in London and the breathtaking thrills of the Hawaiian Masters Surfing Championship beginning at 4, right here on ABC.
Lil Abner, tonight at 6:30.
Starting at halftime. We've got, of course, the Penn State Band and the salute to Walt Disney coming up. This 1974 Orange Bowl game is being brought to you by Pontiac. The wide-track people have a way with small cars, too. As we said, we have just begun to fight. The Orange Bowl halftime pageantry will continue with the Penn State Band in just a moment. Now we pause for station identification.
The Boston Bruins take on the New York Rangers in exciting hockey action Friday night on NBC.
Morning, Toshiba. Yes, sir, Toshiba is introducing Advanced Solid-State Integrated Circuit Color TV. What does it do? Gives longer life and top dependability. What is ABC? Toshiba's automatic balanced color. One touch gives perfect brightness, tint, color, contrast, and fine-tuning. Energy crunch? Toshiba saves energy because it has low power consumption. Fantastic! Toshiba, oh, I mean sayonara.
It's got class, like calling the shot is real class, like a happy feeling is class, like a beautiful man has got class. It's got class, like working together takes class, like a dynamite lady's got class. To admit your mistakes sure takes class. It's got class.
Once you know what class is, you know Tuborg beer's got class. Brewed in America at American prices. It's got class.
Paul Moyer with the news tonight at 11:30.
The 1974 Orange Bowl game is being brought to you by the Penn State Marching Band under the direction of Dr. James W. Dunlop. And remember, I said, it's not over yet. Our salute to the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney is coming up from the Orange Bowl in a moment. Now, from Miami, we pause for station identification.
Odds against an underworld figure suddenly disappears, and it's up to Ironside to find it Thursday.
In a Ford Model T, you can depend on just about everything, except the weather. In a Ford Pinto, you can make your own weather. Pinto's price is so low you can afford a sunroof, air conditioning, a rear window defroster to make the weather inside your Pinto as dependable as your Pinto. The economical little Pinto. Base sticker price $24.42, excluding dealer prep, destination charges, title, and taxes. At your local Ford dealer.
The great Western feeling. At Great Western, you get the highest interest on regular insured passbook savings. And so much more. You get the feeling that comes from knowing you put your savings in exactly the right place. That's the Great Western feeling.
Paul Moyer with the news tonight at 11:30.
I know who that is, and so do you. That is Mickey Mouse. Let's listen. The Orange Bowl presents a special tribute to Walt Disney Productions on its 50th anniversary. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, my, oh, my, what a wonderful day, yeah. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay.
fast and strong. You may think the sweep's on the bottomless rung. Though I spend me time in the ashes and smoke, in this still wide world there's no happier bloke. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chimney. A sleep is as lovely as lovely can be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chimney. Good luck will rub off when I shake hands with you. Or below me a kiss and then something
the Orange Bowl salutes 50 years of happiness to the world. We are applauding here in our own booth. Kyle Road and I, it is absolutely beautiful. The salute to Walt Disney after 50 years. Our score at halftime, Penn State 16, LSU 7. That's right, we've got another whole half of football to go. And we'll return to Miami, Florida for the Orange Bowl game in just a moment.
Hey, Chevrolet, we got your plug. Champion's got 87 different spark plugs just for Chevrolet engines. Champion's the #1 selling spark plug in the world because Champion's got the right spark plug for just about every car in the world. And the right spark plug can make a real difference in performance. Or Champion wouldn't make 87 different plugs for Chevy engines. So for your next tune-up, Chevrolet, remember, we got your plug.
This Goodyear custom steel guard radial tire uses less gas than non-radial tires. But that's not all. Steel Guard also has these 5 guards to help protect you 5 ways. Flexible polyester cord, double steel belts, computer designed tread to hold in the wet, cornering grooves, steel sidewall stabilizers. All these 5 guards, and saves gas too. The custom steel guard radial, only from Goodyear.
It's hard to believe, but this is the kind of hairspray most men use to get the dry look. That's why we created new Vitalis Dry 3, a hairspray so remarkable, it's practically dry the instant it hits your hair. Do you see any reason why your hair has to start out so wet to look dry? New Vitalis Dry 3.
Welcome back to the Orange Bowl, where we've just witnessed a fabulous halftime and a fabulous...
Hands, we got hands. Hands for building, hands for helping, bringing coke and making welcome hands. Da-da-da. Our hands have got to be for helping, like bringing coke to someone nice.
Introducing a new shampoo with the pure and natural cleansing essence of the desert yucca plant. It's called Yucca Dew. More than just soap or detergent, Yucca Dew means you can have more shine without oiliness, a freshness that says clean instead of perfume, and a thick instant lather that's gentle to hair and skin. Yucca Dew means there's one shampoo that's great for your hair and theirs.
Hawaii 5-0 will return. Burt Lancaster and Gene Hackman star as skydiving daredevils on this week's exciting Friday night movie on CBS.
Jake
wants to know what his partner was doing on that bus. What the math now is Jake.
People were murdered, and I want answers.
Jake's got his methods of getting answers.
What was your brother doing on that bus?
So does Leo.
Very corny and against the law.
Honey, I am the law.
He's Jake's new partner.
We got nothing to take to the DA until he stops running and picks up a gun.
Wait a second. Not yet. Wait!
The Laughing Policeman. Rated R.
Now playing at selected theaters, check your newspaper.
What if we all had to sign the work we do? We'd do it better, just out of pride. So we'd give each other better products and services and help keep jobs here in America. Want to see it happen? You can. Just do the kind of work you'd be proud to put your name on.
America only works as well as you and I.
Darren McGavin and Richard Roundtree as Shaft.
There's a huge car theft ring operating full blast right here in this precinct, with plenty of help from headquarters.
Shaft. Cop Killer.
Next in sight on CBS.
I like a very strange variety of things with milk, but they all happen to taste very good with milk. I like jelly beans, and I like to wash them down with milk. I like pretzels with mustard on it, with another quart of milk. And I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and then you gargle and get the peanut butter off the roof of your mouth.
Milk has something for everybody, even Michael Landon's.
Now, I mean, there's just a million things that are just fantastic with milk.
Quaker 100% natural cereal.
What do you think your children would have to say about it? What would their reaction to the taste be?
I know they would like it.
Delicious! If you could have this for breakfast or what you usually have, which would you prefer?
This.
Quaker found the recipe that everyone else missed.
And it's different because it's got raisins and nuts and oatmeal. It's all mixed together.
What do you think a little boy would think of the taste?
You'd love it. I would like to have more.
Want some more?
James Whitmore at 11:30.
Tonight on the new CBS Tuesday night movies, Richard Roundtree stars as Shaft.
There's an auto theft ring. Now they're big and they're organized. Now, I know that the police are on a take.
I'm going to become a meat eater myself. I'm going to nail him from the inside, John.
Now I want to know, what did he do to get shot? And what do you know about it?
Darren McGavin, George Maharis, and Richard Roundtree as Shaft. Cop Killer.
This kitchen drain can explain a lot about sinus miseries. When closed, it blocks. But when open, it drains. When your sinuses are open, there's no congestion pain. But when sinuses close, you've got blockage, congestion, pressure, pain. You want Dristan tablets. Strong medicines to open sinuses, help drain off congestion, reduce pressure, relieve pain in minutes. Dristan tablets helps drain off sinus pain fast.
Mr. Richard Busby, Coos Bay, Oregon, $24,000. Mr. Clarence...
If we gave you the names of all the winners in the Reader's Digest sweepstakes, we'd be doing it day and night for over 3 whole weeks. Over 500,000 winners to date. Letters in the new Reader's Digest $400,000 sweepstakes are in the mail now. More than 20,000 cash prizes, and all will be given away. Send in your entry now, because to win, you've got to enter.
Ridgecrest, California.